have some great advice on planning for retirement at any age. Please welcome the author of Made Whole, the practical guide to reaching your financial goals. She's known as the Budgetnista, Tiffany Aliche.
Tiff, welcome back. Thank you for being here. The book is fabulous. Let's get started with retirement goals. Where to begin?
Yeah, how do we plan?
So first you want to identify what are your actual goals. You're going to ask yourself, how much does my life cost me right now annually? Okay. You're going to multiply that times how many years you think you're going to be in retirement, typically about 30 years. Okay. But keep in mind that we usually spend about 75 to 80% of what we're actually spending now because we're not out and about as much. Mm-hmm. And you might want to also consider Social Security, how that might add to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have to decide where to put our retirement money, right?
Yes.
So what are our options?
And so you're not just saving for retirement, you're investing for retirement because you want your money to grow. So 401k, I'm sure you've heard of that before.
Yes.
And so a 401k and a traditional IRA, which is an individual retirement account, allows you to put money in now, and it allows you to save on taxes because you put your money pre-tax dollars in now.
Pre-tax dollars. So you don't get taxed on that money?
Right now, but when you take it out, you will get taxed.
Okay.
Okay.
So should we just leave it in there forever
until retirement, ideally, right?
Right?
And then if you are self-employed, you could do something called a SEP, but the opposite end of that really is something called a Roth IRA. Mm-hmm. And that's money that you've already had taxed. Mm-hmm. You're gonna put it into this retirement account and you get to withdraw, especially the gains, tax-free.
I like
so it's
that.
like you're gonna pay taxes later or now.
Yeah.
You know? And so that's really great. And so if you consider that $23,000 is the maximum you could put in your 401k right now. Mm-hmm. But if you're a seasoned citizen, right, and that means you're 50 or older, you could do something called catch-up contributions.
We're seasoned.
We're seasoned citizens. We are seasoned citizens. I love that.
What about calculating your retirement mix? What is that?
So you want to get a little bit mixy. So typically when you're thinking about retirement and you're thinking about investing, there's stocks and then there's bonds. Right? So stocks are a little bit riskier, but high risk, high reward, right?
Yeah, but what if you're exceptionally risk averse?
Well, bonds are something where that is also an investment, but it's a little bit more conservative. Mm-hmm. But there is something called the 110 rule when you're going to get mixy. Okay. So you're going to take your age, right, and subtract 110 and subtract your age from that.
Oh my God.
And it'll tell you, so we're 20, obviously.
We're 20 years old.
Yeah. So that means you're going to take 20 out of 110, and then the higher number, 90, is what you're going to invest in stocks, and then 10% into bonds. And if you do that.
So be more risky.
The younger you are, yes.
Yeah, the younger you are.
Okay.
You say it's a smart move to automate your funds and moving to retirement?
Yeah, so automation is a new discipline. Automation doesn't have a terrible memory like I do.
Yeah.
Automation doesn't have an attitude like my little sister. Automation is going to do exactly what you tell it to do until you tell it to stop. So don't just automate your bills, also automate for your future as well.
So smart.
Excellent. This is great. All right, when we come back, more with Tiffany on planning for retirement. Stick around.
Okay, we are back with Tiffany Aliche. Stop what you're doing. We are planning for retirement right now. Even if you don't think you need to, you need to. Tell us about this 4% rule.
So the way the 4% rule works, Kelly, is that if you withdraw no more than 4% from your retirement account, and you adjust for inflation every single year, it should be able to last you for 30 years, for the length of your retirement.
Okay.
And so we want to be mindful, though, that you're actually funding the account. So let's go like decade by decade.
How do we do that?
So in your 20s and 30s, you want to be ideally setting aside 10 to 15%. If you're in your 40s, 15 to 25%, 50s, 25 to 35%, and 60s and above, depending on where you are, you'll adjust up or down.
Okay. Got it. Tell me about health savings accounts.
So health savings accounts are these really great tax advantage accounts because you can put the money in and save on taxes, and then you can withdraw it and also not have to pay taxes on the money you withdraw.
As long as you spend that on medical
expenses.
Okay.
Yes, because
is plastic surgery included in that? Just asking for any friends.
These are things like co-pays,
Got it.
And so the great thing about it is that let's just say you hit 65, there are something called like an FSA, and that if you don't use it, you do lose it. But with an HSA, you don't lose it. Okay. And so if you're 65 years old and you still haven't used it, you can withdraw it for something that's not a medical expense, but you'll just pay taxes on that withdrawal.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about dividend stocks for retirement.
So dividends, dividends are our friends. Right?
Okay.
And so dividend stocks are when a company issues a stock and they share some of the profits of that stock,
love that.
right, of that company with
Yeah.
you, right? So you can get dividends monthly, quarterly, annually, and so you want to add some dividend stocks into your mix.
Is there a better way to take your dividends?
Well, it depends on you, right? It depends. Like, so you might be someone who wants an annual income or a monthly income, and so you would look for a stock that does that. So companies like AT&T, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, these are all dividend stocks, so it's nice to add them.
Okay. This is all
this is great.
news.
Thank you,
I think
Tiffany.
it's important to remember that it's your younger self's job to look after your older self.
Ah, very smart.
Very good.
Good advice.
All right, be sure to pick up a copy of Tiffany's new book, Made Whole, the practical guide to reaching your financial goals, everywhere books are sold. Next, we're going to open up that inbox. Stick around.